Welcome, Mayor, City Council members, Budget Committee members, and community members, to this budget presentation of the Community Development Division budget. I'm Jeff Pascal, and I have the privilege of presenting the fiscal year 2026 operational and capital budget for the Community Development Division. This marks my third budget presentation since stepping into the director role, and I continue to appreciate the opportunity to serve the community I call home. One of the primary reasons I pursued this role was my deep commitment to the community. I'm proud to work alongside dedicated professionals across various service areas of community development. Their hard work and dedication ensure that we continue to provide essential services, enhancing the quality of life in Springfield. Before we begin, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to the citizen volunteers on the Budget Committee. Your time, effort, and thoughtful review of the city's budget play a crucial role in shaping the future of our community. Community development budget includes multiple programs alongside key capital investments. In this presentation, we'll start by reviewing the operational budget, followed by a presentation by Stan Petroff, the city engineer, that will go over capital expenditures. Let's get started. As you can see from this chart, the community development budget is composed of multiple funding sources, reflecting the breadth of services we provide throughout the city. Because of this diverse funding structure, community development plays an integral role in many areas of city services, including planning and development, infrastructure construction and planning, code enforcement, housing initiatives, and building safety. The largest portion of our funding is dedicated to capital projects across various infrastructure systems. These investments ensure that we can maintain, improve, and expand critical facilities and services that support our growing community. This year, we were asked to trim $200,000 from our Fund 100 allocation. Through careful evaluation and strategic reallocation, we have been able to preserve our staffing levels while continuing to deliver key services and advance critical initiatives. By streamlining operations, reprioritizing non-essential expenditures, and leveraging alternative funding sources, we have ensured that our core services remain intact, including comprehensive planning, housing initiatives, and development services. Looking ahead, we have many comprehensive planning priorities. Over the next few years, to satisfy state and federal mandates, these efforts will focus on housing, land use, and infrastructure planning, ensuring Springfield remains compliant while preparing for future growth and development. We are also prioritizing infrastructure planning, ensuring that long-term growth and development are supported by strategic investment in transportation utilities and public facilities. Next, we'll take a closer look at how these funds are allocated across our operational programs and capital expenditures. The Community Development Division plays a vital role in Springfield's growth and development, overseeing a wide range of services that support housing, infrastructure, business development, and long-term planning. Our work is divided into 4 key service areas. First, comprehensive planning. This team focuses on long-term strategies for land use, housing, transportation, and infrastructure. These efforts are essential for meeting state and federal mandates while ensuring Springfield remains a well-planned and thriving community. Next, the Development Center. This group handles current planning, building review, code enforcement, and business licensing, ensuring new projects align with city standards while supporting economic growth and community safety. Our engineering team is responsible for land development review, capital improvement projects, land surveying, and contract management. These efforts help maintain and enhance Springfield's critical infrastructure. Finally, Director and Communication Services. Focus on development and public works budget and strategic financial planning, ensuring that funding is allocated effectively to support our growing community. Together, these services work to strengthen our city's foundation, support responsible growth, and enhance quality of life. Next, we'll dive deeper into the budget allocation supporting these activities. The Community Development Division's budget for fiscal year 2026 reflects our commitment to strategic investment in essential services that support Springfield's growth and development. The total budget for community development is $41.3 million, with the largest portion, $32 million, allocated to engineering. This includes $27 million in capital projects, funding critical infrastructure improvements, roadways, and public works initiatives. Comprehensive planning is budgeted at $4.7 million, supporting long-range efforts in housing, land use, transportation, and other utility planning to meet state and federal requirements. The Development Center is allocated $3.7 million, ensuring continued support for development review, permitting, building inspections, and code enforcement, key services that facilitate responsible growth and economic development. Finally, Director and Communication Services received $900,000 funding budget oversight and strategic financial planning to ensure resources are used effectively across all service areas. This budget reflects our commitment to long-term infrastructure planning, housing initiatives, and community development while ensuring fiscal responsibility and efficient use of resources. Next, we'll explore the budget breakdown by service area and category. This slide provides a detailed look at how our budget is allocated across service areas and by funding category, including personnel, materials and services, and capital investments. As shown, engineering comprises the largest share of our budget at $32 million, with a significant portion, $27 million, dedicated to capital projects. These capital investments are essential to maintaining and improving Springfield's infrastructure systems, including roads, utilities, and public facilities. Outside of engineering, our largest funding areas are comprehensive planning and the Development Center, reflecting our commitment to land use, housing initiatives, and development services. Comprehensive planning is budgeted at $4.7 million, with $3 million allocated for materials and services. A large portion of these funds come from Community Development Block Grants, CDBG, which are awarded to external organizations that carry out initiatives and projects benefiting our community. These investments have historically supported affordable housing, infrastructure improvements, and community-based programs that enhance Springfield's quality of life. The Development Center has a $3.7 million allocation, with a focus on personnel and operational services to support development review, inspections, and code enforcement. Lastly, Director and Communication Services are allocated $0.9 million, ensuring effective budget oversight, financial planning, and strategic management of community development programs. This balanced approach ensures that we can continue delivering critical services, meet regulatory requirements, and invest in the future growth and sustainability of Springfield. Next, we'll dig deeper into the budget and look at FTE by service area. The information provided here is a breakdown of the FY26 budget alongside the full-time equivalent or FTE staffing levels across our key service areas. The total budget for the Community Development Division is $41.3 million, supporting 62 full-time equivalent positions across our programs. Looking at the FTE distribution, engineering accounts for the largest share with 26 FTEs, reflecting the significant workload in capital projects, infrastructure development, and public works improvements. The Development Center has 20.4 FTEs, supporting critical functions such as permitting, building inspection, and code enforcement. Comprehensive Planning has 10.8 FTEs dedicated to long-range land use planning, utilities and facilities planning, transportation planning, and housing initiatives to meet state and federal requirements. Director and Communication Services maintains 4.8 FTEs, ensuring oversight of financial planning, budgeting, and administrative functions. This year, the budget proposes adding 1.0 FTE to code enforcement, funded through building safety and stormwater funds to focus on code compliance efforts in those areas. This addition will enhance our ability to address violations, improve community safety, and ensure compliance with critical building and environmental standards. We are also managing 6 vacant positions across the division, 3 in engineering, 2 in Director and Communications, and 1 in Development Center. While these vacancies present challenges, we are working to prioritize recruitment efforts to maintain service levels and ensure continuity in key programs. With this budget and staffing plan in place, we are well positioned to continue delivering essential services, advancing key initiatives, and planning for the future needs. Next, we'll review our FY 2025 accomplishments, outline the key initiatives for FY26, and discuss major activities and future considerations that will shape the direction of the Community Development Division. This slide highlights accomplishments from FY 2025, key initiatives, and major activities planned for FY 2026, and future considerations for the Comprehensive Planning Service Area. FY 2025 accomplishments. The last couple of years have been very productive for the Comprehensive Planning Service Area. Our team has made significant progress in land use planning, infrastructure planning and development, and housing initiatives, helping to shape Springfield's future while meeting state and federal requirements. Some key FY25 accomplishments include development code amendments. These were adopted to improve annexation processes and increase housing opportunities in non-residential areas. We updated the wastewater master plan, ensuring long-term sustainability for our wastewater infrastructure. The housing diversity tax exemption was implemented and provides another tool to support affordable and diverse housing opportunities and options. We awarded funding to Square One Villages to assist with purchase of land for cooperative housing development, increasing permanent community-led housing solutions. FY26 initiatives and major activities. Looking ahead, we have several critical initiatives planned for FY26. We're beginning to develop the walk and roll bicycle pedestrian plan, improving connectivity and mobility options for Springfield residents, adopting climate-friendly areas, aligning with state goals to support sustainable development and land use planning. Continue development code amendments, including floodplain protections under PICM, and housing-related updates for mixed-use areas. Award city-owned properties to income-qualified housing developments to support affordable housing expansion in our community. Future considerations and outlook. As we look beyond FY26, several long-term planning efforts will shape the direction of comprehensive planning. Adopting natural resource protections in the urban growth boundary expansion area, ensuring future development aligns with environmental considerations, assessing Springfield's housing capacity, and adopting a housing production strategy to meet state mandates and community needs. Identifying stormwater improvements, for the lower Mill Race area, supporting flood mitigation and environmental restoration. Advancing transportation and land use planning in the North Gateway area, including a review of the Gateway Beltline interchange plan to improve traffic flow and accessibility. These initiatives and planning efforts position Springfield for sustainable growth, housing expansion, and infrastructure resilience. Next, we'll move on to discuss development-centered initiatives, priorities that will guide our work in the coming year. This slide highlights the accomplishments from FY 2025, key initiatives and major activities planned for FY 2026, and future considerations for the Development Center service area. FY25 accomplishments. The past year has been extremely busy and productive for the Development Center, with significant progress made in improving efficiency, enhancing code enforcement, and managing a high volume of development activity. Some key FY 2025 accomplishments include updated planning fees to better align with the current service demands and ensure cost recovery for development review and permitting processes. Adopting new municipal code changes related to code enforcement, including the implementation of administrative civil penalties, providing new tools for addressing violations and improving compliance. Cleared the plan review backlog. After years of record or near record permit volume, they processed over 3,000 permits in 2024, a major achievement in keeping up with the city's development pace. FY26 initiatives and major activities. Looking ahead, the Development Center will continue focusing on efficiency, compliance, and modernization. Key initiatives for FY 2026 include launching a scanning project to electronically archive all old files, improving document accessibility, and streamlining record keeping for current and future planning efforts. Re-envisioning code enforcement program with a focus on proactive compliance, enhanced enforcement strategies, and improved coordination across departments. Future considerations and outlook. Beyond FY 2026, several long-term priorities will guide the Development Center's ongoing work. Continuing to streamline processes, ensuring that the development review, permitting, and code enforcement remain efficient, transparent, and responsive to community needs. Implementing state-mandated code changes, ensuring Springfield remains in compliance with new state policies and regulations impacting land use and development. With these efforts, the Community Development Center will continue to support Springfield's growth and development, ensuring that projects move forward efficiently, regulations are enforced effectively, and customer service remains a high priority. Next, we'll move on to additional division-wide initiatives and priorities that will shape our work in the coming year. The engineering services area had another highly productive year. While continuing to make advancements on several active infrastructure projects, they are also making significant progress in staffing, right-of-way management, and infrastructure planning to support Springfield's growth. Over the past year, the engineering team has focused on expanding capacity and streamlining operations to enhance service delivery. They have expanded the survey group resources and strengthened the right-of-way team, thus improving efficiency and cost management for development and capital projects. They have actively been filling positions approved in the FY25 budget, which increases capacity to design, manage, and deliver infrastructure projects more effectively. They are continuing progress on key infrastructure projects to ensure Springfield's transportation network remains safe, accessible, and resilient. Looking ahead, the next few years will be just as busy, with a strong focus on design and construction efforts. Engineering will be actively engaged in delivering major capital projects, particularly the Mill Street improvements and infrastructure support for the Glenwood Riverfront development. General obligation bonds, thank you to the voters. These projects are moving forward alongside continued investment in bike pedestrian improvements and transportation enhancements. The team will also continue midterm infrastructure planning efforts through the biennial capital improvement programming update, ensuring that the projects align with the city's future needs and fiscal strategies. Beyond FY26, engineering will remain focused on sustaining momentum on major infrastructure investments while ensuring fiscal responsibility and efficient project delivery, supporting continued right-of-way and survey team development, which means improving coordination and cost effectiveness across multiple service areas, advancing wastewater and street maintenance strategies by prioritizing proactive solutions to extend infrastructure lifespan. With another demanding yet rewarding few years ahead, the engineering team remains committed to delivering high-quality infrastructure, managing growth effectively, and supporting Springfield's evolving needs. In closing, as we wrap up this operational budget presentation, I want to sincerely thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration of the Community Development Division's budget and priorities. Our team remains committed to delivering essential services, advancing key initiatives, and strategic management of resources to support Springfield's growth and development. With another busy year ahead, we look forward to continuing our work in infrastructure planning, development services, and community engagement, ensuring that Springfield remains a vibrant, well-planned, and resilient community. Next, Stan Petroff will provide an overview of the capital budget priorities, highlighting key investments that will shape Springfield's infrastructure and long-term development. Thank you again for your support and dedication to the city's future.
Hello, Mayor, Council, and Budget Committee members. This is Stan Petroff, your city engineer. Today I have the privilege of presenting the 2026 Engineering and Capital Budget, aimed at fostering our community's development and focused on preserving existing infrastructure. As a resident deeply rooted in this community, I'm passionate about its well-being and growth. On the following slides, I will be going over priorities, accomplishments, current initiatives, and future considerations. The fiscal year 26 capital budget is guided by the city's capital improvement program, otherwise known as the CIP. It's a 5-year roadmap for funding and constructing public facilities. Rooted in long-term master plans, these projects address anticipated city needs over the next 20 years, covering essential infrastructure assets such as streets, sidewalks, and utilities. The CIP serves as a key foundation for capital investments within the city's annual budget process. Additionally, the budget includes funding for the regional wastewater collection and treatment systems in partnership with the Metropolitan Wastewater Management Commission, or MWMC. Springfield's capital budget allocates resources to meet the city's obligations under the intergovernmental agreement with Eugene and Lane County, which establishes the MWMC and entrusted Springfield with financial and capital management responsibilities. Each year, city staff conduct thorough cash flow analyses, consolidate ongoing projects, and propose funding for new initiatives. These recommendations undergo careful review by the city manager, budget committee, and city council before the budget is finalized. This chart provides a comprehensive summary of the capital budget, categorized by system. Notably, the capital budget approaches $130 million, reflecting an increase over the FY25 budget. The Metropolitan Wastewater Management Commission's capital budget stands at $98.4 million, roughly $30 million higher than last year. While this revenue flows through the local city budget, it is dedicated to regional wastewater projects. More details on this budget will be covered in the Environmental Services Division Director's presentation. The local capital budget for FY26 totals $31 million, also increasing from the previous year. This growth is primarily driven by the inclusion of $20 million in general obligation street bond preservation projects, along with several smaller initiatives. Here's an overview of the various funding sources we utilize for our projects. Transportation projects are primarily funded through state and local fuel taxes, system development charges, or SDCs, and federal transportation aid. Notably, 90% of our federal funding does not flow directly into the budget, but is reimbursed for major projects. Stormwater and wastewater projects are supported by user fees and SDCs, and additionally, for specialized projects like the 42nd Street Levee Rehab and Certification Project, the city actively pursues grant funding. While this list doesn't include every project completed by the Capital Delivery Group, it highlights several major accomplishments from the past year. One significant project was the preservation work on North 42nd Street from Marcola Road south to the entrance of International Paper. This project included a mill and inlay of the existing deteriorated pavement, upgraded ADA curb ramps, and refreshed roadway striping. While this project only preserved the pavement, a future roadway project to be coordinated with the levee rehabilitation effort will bring up 42nd Street to modern standards and address known safety concerns at key intersections. Another major improvement was the West D Street Bicycle Enhancement Project, which upgraded a heavily used bike and pedestrian route along the Willamette River and West D Street. Enhancements included adding speed humps, new path to street connections, a raised crosswalk, and modified roadway striping to increase safety. Additionally, a previously unpaved section of South 28th Street from South F Street to the city limits was paved and outfitted with stormwater management features. The new pavement will reduce dust, while the stormwater upgrades will help capture and treat runoff before it enters local waterways. This overview highlights key projects planned for fiscal year 26 and 27. A major initiative in the fiscal year 26 capital budget is the completion of a wastewater pipeline extension in the Jasper Natron area, supporting urban development and housing expansion. Additionally, Phase 2 design work for Franklin Boulevard will be finalized, including plans for a new roundabout at the Mississippi intersection, with construction expected to begin in late 2025. The street preservation bond projects are also progressing, with design wrapping up later this year and bidding and construction scheduled for spring of 2026. Other significant construction efforts include the reconstruction of Mill Street from South A Street to Centennial Boulevard, currently under construction and planned to be completed later this year or early 2026. This project will enhance safety with new bike lanes, pedestrian improvements, stormwater facilities, and utility upgrades. Similarly, Laura Street will undergo rehabilitation and widening with concrete pavement and stormwater system upgrades, with work beginning in early 2025. Additional infrastructure improvements include the 70th and 72nd wastewater rehab project, expected to be completed by late summer, along with the Harbor Drive pump station project, and the design phase of the sidewalk filling the gaps project and geotechnical investigations in support of the ongoing 42nd Street levee modernization and certification project. A key challenge for the future is securing funding for street preservation and rehabilitation, particularly for residential streets. Large funding sources such as state and federal grants are typically designated for major collector and arterial roads, leaving neighborhood streets without sufficient resources. Many of these local roads will require full reconstruction, along with upgrades to meet modern ADA and stormwater standards, further increasing costs. Identifying new revenue sources remains a top priority to ensure continued preservation efforts and prevent streets from deteriorating to the point of needing full reconstruction. Recently, we adopted a new wastewater master plan, which will guide future capital improvement programs and capital budgets. The plan identifies more than 130 miles of pipeline that have reached or are nearing the end of their service life. Additionally, staffing shortages have caused delays in several projects outlined in the current capital budget and upcoming CIP. To address this, we have added key positions and are working to establish a dedicated capital project team for wastewater and stormwater projects. The financial health of these capital funds remains strong, in the range of $40 million combined. With these additional resources, we anticipate completing 2 to 3 wastewater rehab projects and 1 stormwater-specific project annually. Given the rising cost of consultants in recent years, expanding in-house expertise should prove to be a more cost-effective solution. Following the approval of the $20 million bond measure, we have initiated design work on all associated paving projects, with bidding and construction scheduled to begin later this fall. Construction is anticipated to start in early 2026. Meanwhile, we have begun the exploration and investigation phase of the 42nd Street levee project in collaboration with the Army Corps of Engineers. This phase will assess the extent of necessary repairs, develop a scope of work, provide cost estimates, and establish a schedule for final design and construction, ultimately leading to the levee's recertification. Protecting approximately 1/3 of Springfield from potential McKenzie River flooding, this levee requires significant upgrades to enhance the city's resilience against future storm events. With increasing budgetary pressures, we are closely monitoring inflation's impact on capital projects to ensure informed planning and decision-making. These factors will be incorporated into the next update of the Capital Improvement Program, scheduled for update in late 2025 and early 2026. For more information, here are a few links to our projects and capital improvement program. Thank you for following along.